Good morning, dear viewers. Today we shall solve a very interesting problem which is taken from limit. We have to find out the value of this limit, that is, we have to evaluate this limit, and we shall evaluate this limit with the help of Bernoulli's limit, which is well known to us. This Bernoulli's limit is limit n tends to infinity 1 plus 1 over n whole to the power n equal to e. We apply this limit to evaluate this limit, and also we shall use this limit, that is very fundamental limit n tends to infinity sin n over n equal to 1. We shall also use this limit to evaluate this limit. Now start the solution. Let us start the solution. At first, we assume the value of this limit as a. We assume a equal to limit n tends to infinity 1 plus 1 over n square 8 n cube over pi sin pi over 2n. Now we can take natural logarithm on both sides of this equation. Taking natural logarithm on both sides, we get L natural logarithm ln logarithm a ln a equal to limit n tends to infinity ln, that is logarithm limit n tends to infinity 1 whole to the power 8 n cube over pi sin pi over 2n. Taking on both sides natural logarithm, we get this, that is limit logarithm. We can use third bracket limit n tends to infinity 1 over 1 plus 1 over n square whole to the power n square whole to the power 8n over pi sin pi over 2n. Third bracket is ended. Now we can write this by using properties of logarithm. We can use the properties of logarithm, and using the properties of logarithm we can write this in the form 8n, that is limit n tends to infinity 8n over pi sin pi over 2n into limit into logarithm, that is logarithm limit n tends to infinity 1 plus 1 over n square whole to the power n square. This is we can use the properties of logarithm. Using properties of logarithm we can write this in this form. Now we can also write limit n tends to infinity 4n 4 into sin pi over 2n over pi over 2n into, and also logarithm. This limit is in Bernoulli's form, Bernoulli's limit form, so its value is e. We use the Bernoulli's limit, we can get the values of this limit as e. This is the Bernoulli's form. This limit is in the Bernoulli's form, so its value is e, because Bernoulli's limit is this limit n tends to infinity 1 plus 1 over n to the power n equal to e. So this is Bernoulli's limit, so its value is e, that is logarithm e. And also 4 into limit pi over 2n tends to 0. Why? Pi over tends to 0. Why? Because n tends to infinity, this implies pi over 2n tends to 0. So pi over tends to 0, pi over 2n tends to 0, that is limit pi over 2n tends to 0 sin pi over 2n over pi over 2n into value of this natural logarithm is also 1, because log e equal to 1, that is into 1. So we again use the fundamental limit. We can use the fundamental limit, limit n tends to infinity 0 sin n over n equal to 1. This is this limit is in the form of this limit, that is this value of this limit is, the value of this limit is 1, so its value is also 1. So 4 into 1, this is the fundamental limit whose value is 1, and in 4 into 1, that is 4. So we have assumed the value of this limit as a. So logarithm a is this, logarithm a is equal to 4. So a equal to e to the power 4. So value of this limit, so required value of this limit, which is to be found out, this limit is limit n tends to infinity 1 plus 1 over n square to the whole to the power 8 n cube over pi sin pi over 2n. So required value of this limit, required value of this limit, value of the limit, value of the limit, value of the limit limit n tends to infinity 1 plus 1 over n square whole to the power 8 n cube over pi sin pi over 2n is e to the power 4. Thus we have derived the value of this limit. This is the value of the limit, that the limit which is to be found out. So this value of this limit is e to the power 4. We have found out the value of this limit as e to the power 4. So e to the power 4 is the value of this limit. Thanks so much for watching my video. See you next week.